Final test, final
Uh,
exam.
yes. We just had a final exam for one subject called Introduction to Logistics and Supply Chain last week.
The test is was conducted in Vietnamese or English completely.
Uh, yes, we have to make it fully English.
Okay. So did you perform well? Do you think so?
Yes, kind of, because that present that did the presentation for the group, and the teacher said that I was confident enough to get a high score. She gave
Hmm.
me a 9.
Hmm. So is the group presentation must she give you a nine and the other member lower a little bit?
No, we are the same
Ah,
score.
okay. How can you assist the other members in your team about their English speaking speaking skills?
Uh, uh, how can I, what can you repeat?
I mean, do you think that other members in your team share the similar fluent speaking skills of English?
No, we had test to find out who can do the presentation best, and they choose me because they think my pronunciation is good, and they also are not confident in their skills.
So only one person made the presentation. Present the slides in front of the teacher, and other members prepare the slides.
Yes, they prepare the slides and the content, and I only do the presentation.
Okay, how many members are there in your team?
I remember there are 6.
Uh, how long does one presentation last?
Is about uh, 10 minutes.
Okay. Can you look at the script, the paper, or need to remember all the things, or there are also some hints and phrases on the screen?
Yes, they have some main point on the screen, and two other groups they use a paper to read. But I think that we should learn by heart the contents, and then we'll perform it well. So I try to learn it, and I spoke it like I know the contents. I don't use the paper.
Okay. Now we correct listening test. So I don't remember. Did I ask you to do the homework from track 55 or 54? Have you
Uh,
finished this one already, right?
yes, we
Uh,
55, 55, 56, and 57.
okay. Now I play recording again, and when I play, you need to look at the script and pick up the information that support your answer.
No.
Track 55.
Apart from the economic benefits of fracking, its supporters claim that there are significant environmental benefits as well. Firstly, although burning gas produces carbon dioxide, which is the main greenhouse gas causing global warming, the quantities that it produces are far less than the quantities produced by burning coal and oil. Some people estimate that it produces up to 50% less than the other fuels. Burning coal and oil also produces sulfur and mercury, which can be very dangerous to health if breathed in. Another benefit of fracking is that it reduces the amount of water needed for gas production. There's evidence that gas production through fracking uses half the water needed for coal and a tenth of the water needed for oil. One final benefit could be its use as a bridge to carbon-free energy. This means that although gas produces carbon dioxide, if gas can replace oil and coal, then the production of carbon dioxide will slow down, and the development of renewable sources of energy can take longer.
Although burning gas produces carbon dioxide. Number 3.
The answer is C. It produces much less.
So although burning gas produces carbon dioxide, it's produced far less than quantity produced by burning coal and oil. Is it related to water?
I think it's another part.
So it is not related to water. So C is not the correct answer. People estimate it produces up to 50% less than other fuels. For example, burning coal and oil. Coal and oil also produce sulfur and mercury, which very dangerous to health. So which one? It's not 3C, not 3C. So it's produced less, 50% less than other than by burning coal and oil. Coal and oil produces this one, and it's dangerous to health. So number 3, A or B?
Không biết nữa. Nó ý
Cái
là
tiếng
câu B
Việt
nó kêu là slightly less á.
nó đây là ít hơn một chút, còn này là nhiêu?
50% lận.
50%. Vậy thì cậu A nói là gì?
Câu A hả? Câu A thì mình
Nó
có
không gì
câu
đốt
A thì
khí ga nè, đốt khí ga thì nó tạo ra khí carbon CO2 đó, nhưng mà nó không tạo ra những cái hóa chất mà gây nguy hại cho cơ thể. Tại vì sao? Ông burning coal rồi ông tạo ra gì? Khí sunfua với mercury. Khí này là nguy hiểm cho cơ thể nè. Cậu A.
Kiểu thiệt á, thật bệnh ha.
Okay.
Kỳ
Some
ta,
people kỹ ấy.
kỳ ta.
Nó nói
Gì
là
trời?
tạo ra carbon dioxide. Yeah. Khí này có global warming nè, nhưng mà cái lượng nó thải ra đó, ít ở đây đang chỉ từ burning gas, ít hơn cái lượng anh này tạo ra. Yeah. Rồi xong nó mới nói ông này ông còn tạo ra cái này, chứ nó đâu có nói cái burning gas tạo ra cái này đâu.
Nhờ.
Chung để nó
Ok.
lòng vòng. Some people think that using more gas from fracking to produce energy means that
Is C, there will be more time to work.
Environmentally friendly sources of energy keyword.
More time hả? And keyword là can take longer. Development of renewable resources.
Can take longer. Cái quá trình này sẽ làm chậm lại. Ok, và người ta có thời gian để phát triển cái này. Correct. Nào, 14 nè. Mấy cái này phải dịch nha, dịch xong mới nghe được. Mấy câu này khó nha. Tiếp nhé. 56.
Track 56.
Despite the benefits of fracking, which its supporters claim, there are clearly various concerns connected with it. Some of these are real, but it's possible that they're not as well-founded as opponents of fracking would have us believe. So, what exactly are these concerns? Well, we can divide them into 3 categories: environmental concerns, health concerns, and economic concerns. To begin with, let's look at the environmental concerns. The first and possibly most significant environmental concern is that despite producing lower levels of carbon dioxide, shale gas is still a cause of global warming, and so it should not be used. In effect, it simply stops energy producers and governments focusing on the real need to develop renewable sources of energy. What's more, it's likely that although countries which produce shale gas will use less coal and oil, the use of coal and oil will still continue to increase in other places, so globally there will be little or no benefit to the environment. Another environmental concern is pollution. If the production site is badly maintained, dangerous chemicals can get into water sources and rivers. While there's some evidence of this happening at existing production sites, it isn't clear whether this problem happens everywhere, so more research is needed. The last environmental concern connected with drilling is that of earthquakes. We're more familiar with earthquakes happening in certain areas of the world, like Japan and China, but there's evidence that drilling can disturb the ground in the local area, causing it to move and shake, which in turn damages buildings. Usually these movements aren't serious, but they can cause a lot of worry to the local population, so they need to be considered. In fact, very few of these ground movements have definitely been caused by drilling, and it might be that people are worried because of what they hear or read in the media, rather than the actual reality of the situation. Now I'd like to turn to the economic concerns. Opponents of fracking say that the economic benefits are not as great as its supporters claim. While there's clearly an increase in economic activity in the areas where fracking is carried out, as I discussed earlier, there are often negative effects on agriculture and farming in these areas. And there's good evidence that house prices fall, because people aren't willing to move into areas where fracking is taking place or has taken place. Another economic concern is that gas production can be very high at the beginning of the fracking process, but it can drop quickly, down to as little as 10% in 5 years. This can result in more drilling and greater use of water, which increases the cost of getting the gas out of the ground. The other main economic problem is that the estimated amount of gas in the ground may not be anywhere near as high as fracking supporters claim, so investing huge amounts of money in new wells may not benefit the economy at all. This brings me to the last major concern: health. Fracking can bring with it a pollution problem. If the well isn't deep enough, less than 600 meters, or if there are problems with drilling, the chemicals can leak into the drinking water supply and cause problems for the local population. There have even been reports of residents opening their water taps and seeing brown water and mud coming out. Pollution can also be carried in the air to local towns and affect people with existing medical problems, especially those with breathing difficulties. There have even been reports of more cases of cancer among people living near production sites, as well as among the workers themselves. Clearly, a lot more research needs to be done on the effects of fracking on health. So to summarize, there are significant environmental, economic, and health concerns connected with fracking. But we need to carry out a lot more research to see whether these concerns are real. Whether they're real or not, they're having an effect on the fracking industry right now. In many places around the world, local people have protested angrily when they found out that fracking is planned in their area. These concerns have also led local, regional, and national governments to announce that fracking won't start until they're quite sure that it's safe. This means that they'll prevent any activity connected with fracking until there's enough evidence to assure its safety, especially in areas with higher populations. In fact, in France, they've decided not to allow fracking anywhere in the country. We can see that the future is very uncertain, and that is what I'd now like to discuss.
Number one of the environmental concerns is that
I think it's B.
being keyword.
Keyword is globally and will be little or no benefits to the environment.
There are no benefits to the environment. So which lines match with the word shale gas?
So, will country produce shale gas?
This one. What's the global warming? Yes. So there will be little or no benefit to the environment.
No.
Number two, fracking may not be economically beneficial because
Is A, it can reduce the value of homes.
keyword.
House price fall.
Reduce the value of homes, so the house prices fall because people aren't willing to move to areas. Okay, correct. Number three, medical concern.
Is also A, the quality of
A.
water.
Keyword.
Can leak into the drinking water and cause problems.
To the population. The water supply affected badly. Not only the water supply can be affected, pollution can be carried in air to local blah, blah, blah. So here, water supply can be affected. Fracking has not been able to take place in some places because
A,
local people have managed to prevent it.
yes, I think so.
They protested angrily when they found out fracking is planned in the area. Concerns also led to local, regional, and national governments to announce that fracking won't start until they're quite sure that it's safe. So what does it mean? This means that will prevent any activity connected with fracking until there's enough evidence to assure its safety. Tức là họ không có ngăn chặn mà sao?
Chắc
Họ
là
nói
đợi
là
thông tin tốt hơn ha.
đúng rồi, đợi khi nào mà nó ổn thì họ mới làm. Vậy là câu B. Câu A nó sai là người ta đã cố gắng để ngăn chặn, nó không có rồi, họ chỉ phản đối thôi nhưng mà họ không ngăn chặn được. Còn cái người này nói rằng họ sẽ ngăn chặn thì họ ở đây là local, regional and national governments chứ không phải là citizen. B. Yes. Try 17. Problem of fracking, result of climate change. Reason renewable energy resources are not being developed quickly. develop new renewable sources for their environmental groups. Believe that. Ah, listen and track the evidence.
Track 57.
While fracking is being used around the world, we've seen that there are serious concerns about it. What's clear is that fracking isn't the answer to the growing worldwide need for energy as countries increase their consumption. Already, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has reached 400 parts per million. This may not seem very high, but we have to remember that 200 years ago, the level was around 280 parts per million, so it's increased by over a third since then. As a result, it's estimated that global temperatures have already increased by almost 1 degree Celsius. This increase changes the climate and affects the weather in many parts of the world. Many places, such as Northwest Europe, are expected to become warmer and wetter, and we've seen winter storms becoming worse in this region. Other places, such as sub-Saharan Africa, are expected to become hotter and drier, with deserts growing in area and seriously affecting farmland. Ice in the polar regions will melt and sea levels will rise, which will put coastal cities in greater danger of flooding. Clearly, we need to reduce and eventually stop using non-renewable resources like coal, oil, and gas. It may well be true that fracking can slow down global warming for a while and allow us to develop better renewable resources. However, these resources, like wind, wave, and solar power, are currently far more expensive to develop than shale gas production. On top of that, they take a long time to develop and start paying for themselves. Consumers have to pay higher bills to help the development of cleaner sources, and energy companies don't want to lose customers by asking them to pay more. Consequently, it's important for international organizations like the United Nations and national governments to support the development of renewable resources. The problem here, of course, is that governments usually think of short-term answers to energy problems and not longer-term ones. They're afraid that if they reduce the production and use of gas and oil, their economies will do worse than other economies, so they don't want to take action to increase the use of renewable sources. As I mentioned earlier, there are many people in different countries like Canada, the UK, and France who don't support fracking, especially if it's going to take place near where they live. Environmental groups also oppose fracking, not just because they want to protect people living in areas where fracking is planned, but also because they see fracking as part of the old way of doing things, like burning coal, oil, and gas, and increasing global warming. They want to see continued action and are trying to persuade governments to develop wind, wave, and solar power, as well as other renewable forms of energy, to fight global warming and ensure the supply of energy in the future. Certainly, coal, oil, and gas will run out one day, and if we haven't developed other forms of renewable energy, we'll then have serious problems with supplying energy to the growing world population, and the problems of fracking will seem relatively unimportant.
Okay. The problem with fracking is that
SB will not help countries.
keyword.
Keyword là fracking isn't the answer to growing worldwide need for energy.
Can you tell me which one?
Dòng 2, dòng 2.
The energy consumption. Answer to the need. A. Number 2. Result of climate change.
Number 2 is a big, serious problem for food production.
In Africa regions, keyword.
Sub-Saharan Africa and deserts growing in area and seriously if affecting farmland.
Right. Affected farmland. This means the food production. The reason renewable energy sources are not being developed quickly is that
Is C, energy companies are afraid the cost will affect their businesses.
you're right. Keyword.
Um, con, are they, customer have to pay higher bills, and energy company don't want to lose customer by asking them to pay more.
Consumer have to pay higher bills to have developed greener sources. Cost to affect the business. Energy don't want to lose customers, asking them to pay. Number 4, to develop renewable sources further.
Mm, I think is uh, mm, A, huh? Commercial organization.
Commercial organizations need external help.
I think so.
Keyword. It's
Oh,
important for international
mm,
organizations like United Nations and national governments support develop renewable sources.
mm,
Um,
mm,
it means support. It means need help, external help from the international and national government.
mm.
Number 5,
Number five
environmental
is
groups believe that
C.
C, keyword.
Keyword là uh, à, uh, non-renewable sources will run out someday, and we have to, uh, and we'll have serious problem with supply energy. So I think
Hmm.
it's
So they're trying to persuade government to develop as well other renewable forms of energy by for global farm, ensure the supply of energy in the future. They ensure persuade is mean they believe and then they try to persuade the governments. I see is correct. Now we move to units 6 begin natural environment. Have you ever visited any place near the waterfall, like in the picture?
uh, I think I used to once when our family visited a pagoda, and it has a stream but smaller than the one in the in the picture.
Well, it's the stream and here is the waterfall. Stream and waterfall is different.
Oh yeah. Mm.
Okay. So, the place the stream you and your family have visited, is polluted or not?
No, it's not polluted because it is in the mountainous area and no one live around. So it just few people know about the stream and it's not polluted.
Do you see many people, many visitors get there to enjoy the view and maybe they have the picnic, have a camping, but they didn't tidy all the garbage after they leave, before they leave?
I'm not sure, but at the day I visited the place, I saw no one around, just me and my family, and we just have a swim a little bit in the stream, and then we left.
Mm.
And then we left. We left.
So the stream water is clear and clean enough for us to have a maybe a drink to drink.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Uh, have you ever had the chance to take a boat trip on the surface of the river or maybe in the ocean?
No, I haven't before because I think it's kind of dangerous.
Okay. What is the most beautiful place you have ever visited?
Yes, I think is the way to get to Dalat City. I mean, Dalat City is beautiful and gorgeous, but there's so much houses around, and the road is crowded. But the the way you get to Dalat City, the road
Mm,
is more beautiful because it's near to nature and is very peaceful.
mm, okay. Uh, do you visit Dalat every year or just maybe once or twice in your life?
Yes, I've only visited it once uh, since mm, this August because it's for my celebration of graduating high school.
Graduating from high school.
Oh.
Would you return to Dalat again in the future?
Maybe I'm about to visit it in this third holiday, but if I cannot save more money, then I will not uh, afford the trip.
This means that the trip to the famous tourist destinations is very costly.
No, it's the trip is not that costly, but I have to buy clothes and
Mm.
yes, clothes to visit it.
How about the accommodation and the food there? The price is reasonable or a little higher than the other areas, also in Dalat.
I'm not sure because I only have the trip for one day, and we didn't stay at any hotel or motel, so I cannot tell you about the price. But the food is kind of reasonable because it's um, alike as our hometown.
Mm. Okay. Global pollution is a serious problem. Do you agree? Do you think so?
Yes.
So can you explain more why it's a serious problem?
Yes, so I think is like global pollution is like warming or some kind of it, and when the earth gets warmer, the ice in the ocean melts and it increases the sea level, so it's
Mm,
causing flooding problem in some coastal area. And the
mm,
second point is that when we release the yeah, carbon emission
mm,
into the air, it pollutes uh, the air quality, and it causes some breathing problem. So both to the environment and to the humanity, global
mm,
pollution is a serious problem.
So in other words, we would say it has harmful effects or detrimental effects on our environment, health, and our life, our ecosystem. Does the place where you live have a lot of pollution? So we talk about first your hometown.
Yes, so our hometown is a small town in the
Mm,
countryside, so I don't think it have a lot of pollution. It just sometimes it gets hotter in the summer, and it also has some garbage in the sea, but it's just a little bit of pollution.
mm. So why is there garbage in the sea and in the river? Because it is flow. It means the garbage is transmitted from another place to the sea, or because any human impacts, human activities impacts.
Yes, I visited the beach and I saw some garbage that has foreign language on it. So I think one part of it is from another place, but the most part of the garbage in the ocean is that the awareness of people around the local people, they don't have enough self awareness, and they just throw the garbage into the ocean because they think that is it the fastest way to throw the garbage.
Mm. So it's mean that even they know that there's uh, they have no idea about the impacts of the pollution, or even they know that, but they have no choice but
Yes.
throw the garbage into the river. Mm.
Yes, so I think that they do know about the effect of uh, environmental pollution, but I think the most part is that they feel like it doesn't affect them at all. Like even though they throw garbage into the ocean, but they can still live another day, or they they can still make money by
Mm.
catching the fish in the ocean so that it doesn't affect them. So they just don't care about it.
Mm. Do the community in your place try to promote some programs that help to protect the environment, such as recycling programs or green spaces, or maybe put some strict emission controls, or uh, fine heavily someone who pollutes the environment?
Uh, mm, yes, we especially the schools, they sometimes they have some campaigns about collecting garbage in the ocean and around along the road. Yes, along the road. But
Mm.
and they also have uh, some dates to raise people awareness about the environment. But our local government, they don't have any street. Uh, they don't find when
Or
you through the government.
fine, fine,
Mm.
don't fine. Mm. So the school launch campaigns to protect the environments maybe on the weekend. How about the student attitudes? They are really eager to join, or just because they are asked to do that.
uh, as a student, I think that at first they will think that maybe having a trip outside and helping the society is good, and they're willing to join the campaigns. But when they actually get to the location and they start to collect the garbage, they just
Mm.
feel tired and lazy, and they wish they didn't want to join.
Mm. How can the school increase the student awareness in environmental protection?
Sorry, can you repeat?
How can the school encourage the student awareness in environmental protection?
Oh, yes. They raise students awareness about the problem. Like they launch some competition about like making a video or a essays about the environment, and they also uh, mostly they will ask the student to do the activity like if you do not do this you will get a minus point, and
Mm.
and somehow they force the student to do the campaigns.
So maybe they use that method apply for high school student. How about when they uh, are very little, like in grade one and grade two? I mean, in primary school, the student also ask them to do that. Uh, if not, they will be they will the school will give them minus, or they would the school curriculum design some lessons mentioning about our responsibility to our environment.
Oh, yes. So I think the primary school they use a method that they show the student videos about mostly animals get affected by sea pollution, and they make student feel sorry for the animals. They
Mm.
want students to feel empathize empathize.
Empathize.
Yes, empathize, đồng cảm.
So, yes, but you mean the verb, right?
Yes, the verb.
Empathize.
Yes, empathize with the animals, and then the student will uh, like they have a thinking that they must do something for the animals.
Yeah. Now we move to the vocabulary sections about the environment. So actually, the maybe some environmental problems. So divided into two parts. The first one, uh, natural disaster, and the second one, man-made pollution. So first one, acid rain. We know that it can cause damages to the area um, where it happens. So in your hometown or in the city, which place has a high possibility of acid rain?
So I think acid rain happens in areas that have high pollution rate. So I think the city can have higher
Mm.
rate of acid rain.
So, is there any feature that makes the city um, may have acid rain than other place? Which
So
elements? Yeah, yeah.
yes, I think is because the city is more crowded, and it also more um, the traffic is also more complicated. So the city and the people they produce a lot of carbon
Mm,
emissions,
mm,
so that
mm,
harms the environment and cause
mm,
acid rain.
mm. Because of their um, crowded populations and the high dense of the dense content water industry. industrial activity, so it produces lots of exhausted emissions.
Mm.
And okay, and I agree with you. Just the next one, carbon monoxide. So only CO, right? Carbon monoxide is colorless and odorless. So colorless and odorless, what does it mean? You cannot see the colorless. How about odorless?
I, I don't understand the word odorless.
Okay, what odorless? Oh, let me check. Maybe odorless. Odorless. Without a smell. Ah,
Oh,
without a smell. You cannot smell.
okay.
It doesn't have a smell. So carbon monoxide is colorless and odorless. Odorless. Toxic gas. Uh, is it a dangerous pollutant? Do you think so?
Yes, I think it's kind of dangerous because when back to my 11th grade, the chemistry teacher said that CO is a dangerous uh, khí, and when you breathe it in, you will get uh, ngộ độc là gì trời? Poisoned. You will get poisoned.
You get poisoned. You
Oh,
get poisonous. Poisonous. Case mean gas. You can say gas. Uh, so do you think it's kind of man-made pollution? It mean people create carbon monoxide or it is produced by the natural reaction in the nature.
no, I think it's a man-made gas because mostly it comes from the car.
Okay. Does your hometown suffer from drought in the summer?
Uh, no, I don't think so. But like the recent years we have drowned in the farm.
In the
Oh,
farm?
on the farm, on the farm in the summer.
In the summer. Which place in our country would suffer from drought more often than any other regions? Do you know?
Uh, I think um, is it miền Trung hả?
Miền Trung. In the central Vietnam.
I think so.
Mm. I'm not sure because the central of Vietnam is famous for suffering from the storm every year, especially from September to November. And um, I guess with the hot climate, extremely hot, scorching hot climate in the south of Vietnam, some western provinces will suffer from the drought during the hot weather. I just guess that. So we just get, we're not sure about that. To have
Mm.
the correct information, go Google. Okay, so what is the damage or the bad effects of drought?
Yes, I think it mostly affects the farmland, and we
Mm,
cannot plant anything, especially uh, food. So
mm,
it
mm,
affects the food production.
mm, mm. and destroy the crops in the region. Uh, crops in the region. Okay. Earthquake. Earthquake. Uh, so is it popular in Vietnam to have an earthquake?
Uh, I think that our country also has earthquake, but not many times.
Uh, what country do you know in the world? What country in the world do you know that that is famous for earthquake and they need to have their instant measures to deal with it?
Oh, yes, it's definitely Japan, especially
Mm,
in 2011 when they suffered uh, a earthquake with high Richter degree.
mm. I just see the phrase when you talk about a degree. It's for
Uh,
example, uh,
Độ Richter.
yeah, they will say, for example, you have sick độ, right? So they say sick on the Richter scale.
No, okay.
Because we say degree for the temperature. So
Oh,
Richter scale. So six is measure six on the Richter scale. Um, if we so do you think that people in the area which often suffers from earthquake, how can they deal when the earthquake happens? They should maybe stand still or try to find some place to hide, or they need to immediately get out of the building.
oh. So I think that in some areas, especially in Japan, they build their house in a special structure which can suffer the earthquake for a moment. And they also, the government also have a place that for people to hide when there's earthquake. And the children at school also are also teach to hide under the table and wait for the earthquake to finish.
What if, how would you react? Uh, how would you react if one day there was an earthquake near uh, maybe a Bình district?
Mm. Yes, if they are someday we have earthquake, I think I'll be a little shocked at first, and maybe later I will find a table to hide under it.
So people would react quickly, immediately, effectively when they first encounter the situation, or they need to prepare themselves for.
Oh. Yes, to mostly people, I think they will be a little confused at first because they're new to the experience, and even though they know about the knowledge, but I don't think they will be fast at first. They need some time to understand the situation.
To understand what is happening surrounding
Oh,
them.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
okay. Have you ever read any news about the way to deal with the incident that happened in the lift? This means when the lift door suddenly sh shut up and I mean maybe there is a problem with the lift that you are inside. Have you ever read any news about the way how to deal with that one?
Oh, Yes, I heard that when we are in the situation, we should lay down to the floor
Mm.
and yes, lay down to the floor.
Can we press any button or we just need to wait until the rescue team appear?
Oh, yes. I'm not sure, but I think that we pressed every buttons that on the board, and then we'll lay down and for wait for the rescue team.
Yeah. I used to watch a video. There's a 12 years old boy in maybe in I'm not sure in Hanoi or in another country. He uh, extremely quickly pressed lots of buttons from 0 to 9, all the buttons on this one, and he in the position that to it means he need to uh, position himself maybe on the he maybe he will lower his body to reduce the possibility to shock his body, and then after a second, several seconds, the door opened and he quickly moved out. So at that time, he just lowered his body, not lying on the floor, because it's not convenient. It was not convenient for someone to run away when you are in the uh, sitting position.
Oh,
Okay. Let's say earthquake, earthquake.
oh.
Core sound is a core sound. This one. Uh, landslide. This year, our country suffered, especially the mountainous area in the north of Vietnam suffer from the strategic. Uh, Let me go. I don't use for a long time. I forgot the. What can we say? Uh, tragedy. Tragic. Tragic landslides. Do you know this little village? Have
Um,
Have you heard the name of that village in the north of Vietnam? That the landslides destroy the whole completely their village. No?
maybe yes, especially in the storm season.
Um,
Ah,
this one, right? So it's landslides. Ah, okay. Uh, so people know that it's really dangerous, or they don't know it's dangerous. So uh they still willing they are still willing to live in these flights.
mm, I think that they just cannot imagine that one day the um, disaster will come, and
Mm,
especially they cannot afford the price
mm,
in other area.
mm. So the landslides may happen because of maybe the landslides are caused by the earthquake or because of the heavy rain.
Oh, yeah, I think is uh, because of the heavy wave.
Mm, okay. Volcano eruptions. Which country in the world is famous for uh, a frequent volcano eruption?
Yes, definitely also Japan.
Also Japan. Oh,
Yes. Mm.
so it's mean that the earthquake and volcano eruption has the relation?
Yes, I think so. Because when they have earthquake, they also, they have something in the earth, and that just uh, make the volcano active again, and they
Oh,
eruption and they erupt.
okay. So, do you think that the citizen also live near the volcano area, or actually they already invade, or they live far away from this area?
Uh, yes, so I think that they just live near, not so near the volcano, because usually when a volcano is about to erupt, the news will announce it to the citizen, and they will know when the 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 volcano erupts, and they
Mm,
will move away. But
mm,
also the speed of the lava is not so high, so they can have time to deal with the problem.
mm. So they will evacuate on foot, or they would prepare some specialized vehicle that support them in the situation.
Oh, great.
Do you think they will evacuate on foot
Oh,
immediately, running away immediately, or living near these dangerous area? The citizen or the government need to prepare for themselves their specialized vehicle?
oh, yes. So I think that they should prepare for themselves first, because evacuating cost a lot. Like about the cost and other problems. Like evacuating is not a easy way to deal with a problem, and like having some area or to stop the volcano is easier than evacuating. But if it erupts like a lot,
Suddenly,
suddenly,
mm.
yes, suddenly, and they need to move away.
So can we? I don't know. We just discussed the topic to review vocabulary. When I asked you, I have no idea about the geography as well as these matters because I'm not a scientist. So I'm curious about that. Uh, if the scientist or the scientist or the maybe any governmental organizations employee can predict when the volcano erupts. Can I predict that?
Yes, they can predict that because I think that um, volcano is like pump, a slow pump, and they do research every day about it. So they
Mm,
definitely have some methods to predict when to predict when will it blows explode.
mm. Okay. Next, oil spill. Oil spill. It's in the sea, right? Maybe in the sea, in the river. So
Oh.
what caused the oil spill?
Yes, oil spill is like the oil that the boat, the ship contains, and somehow they just broke the store the store that keeps the oil, and then the oil will leak into the ocean. So that's called oil spill.
Mm. Another word we can also say the maybe maybe by accidents or this the kind of accidental release of oil. This be people don't intentionally do it, just accidentally made it happen. So does it cause any harmful effects to the people or the animal?
Yes, definitely, because the oil is when it leaks when it's leaked out, it's hard to collect it, but and it just floating like that on the surface of the water, and it pollutes the water quality. So the animals live in the water cannot breathe or live in it. So it causes many environmental problems, especially in the ocean.
Yeah, when it leaks. It's difficult for us to pronounce this word. Leaks. Okay.
Lakes.
I feel difficult to pronounce this one because we add a leak,
leak, leak,
Oh, leak.
leak, leak, and leaks. Okay. Uh, Radiation. Have you ever heard this word?
Yes.
Okay. So radiation leak. Radiation leak. So it's where does it happen? Where does radiation leak happens?
I, yes. So it happens when a nuclear company like they cannot control the radiation rate in the air, and the
Mm,
radiation emission just slow down, and
mm,
it pollutes the area around it.
Okay, we don't say nuclear company. Maybe the collocation is nuclear plant. Plant is mean factory.
Ah,
Nuclear plant. Okay,
nuclear.
so it cause harm to the only the environment there.
No, it's also it's also harmful to the the human and the animals. It's like it
Mm,
changes our
mm,
DNA, and it uh, leads to a lot of health problems.
okay. Tsunami.
Tsunami.
Which country in our city? Which city in our country suffer from tsunami? So I guess maybe near the seaside. So which one?
Uh, is it?
I'm not sure. We guess in our country.
No, maybe some country in the center of Vietnam.
Some cities in the center of Vietnam.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think so.
I heard there's the area called Tsunami Industrial Zone in Bình Dương, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I just hear khu công nghiệp sóng thần. So I guess maybe there the tsunami area in that place. And I used to see some place similar to Vũng Tàu in the past. Had a
Oh,
tsunami, and the government announced for the citizen to evacuate immediately. I'm not sure whether or not in time, or I heard that it's not, of course, it's course less or more damages this can cause to the people and the region. Mm, do you know how can we recognize tsunami,
no.
or we need to follow and get updated the news on the radio?
Yes, I think that the one big side is that when the sea they
Let me check this right now. How can we say in Vietnamese? The sea, thủy triều, right?
đúng rồi, yes, chiều
Thủy triều sao?
nó lùi lùi lại á, nó đi nó rút á.
Thủy triều rút nhanh, mình gọi là rút gì ta? Rút đột ngột nha.
Chắc vậy.
Gì vậy? Tự dưng gì
Dạ,
nha. Khi
đúng.
goes out suddenly. Mình check cái bên này. Bữa giờ học mấy cái chủ đề về environment cái thấy trời ơi, mấy từ vựng mình muốn nói mình không biết luôn, đọc tiếng Việt luôn,
Ghê.
đã có đọc đâu biết. Hôm nào rảnh thì đọc thêm chủ đề, mấy chủ đề mình ghét á. Hồi xưa là mình học chủ đề mình thích thôi, giờ mình ghét thì mình phải đọc luôn chứ không vô thêm mình bó tay rồi.
Ừ.
Rồi receipts mua rút nè.
Recedes. Recedes.
Receipts quickly hoặc là when the tide goes out suddenly.
Đúng.
When the tide goes out suddenly and then
And then it creates a high wave.
mm, after that it trigger or produce high waves and attack the shore, and swept away lots of things nearby. Okay, so people also build some resorts near the area, which may happen a tsunami every year, or they should avoid completely building their tourist destinations nearby the tsunami area.
Oh, yes, I think that in Vietnam we barely had any tsunami, and there's a lot of resorts that are very close to the sea. But I think that if that area is considered a area that can have tsunami, then they should not build anything in that place.
Okay, now this one, sinkhole. 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 I think I forgot. I spelled wrong.
Sinkhole.
Sinkhole. Sinkhole.
Sinkhole.
Trước đọc từ từ này mà sao nay đọc không được ta? In sinkhole. Sinkhole. Sink. Không nghe nó đã đọc thành in là không ra. Sinkhole.
Sinkhole.
A large hole underground that river flows into, create over a long period of time by water. As had fallen as this one we say hole. So, oh, have you ever seen a sinkhole on the road or in any area that you have ever been there?
So I have only seen those on Facebook, mostly in foreign country.
Uh, what if it happened in the middle of the road? What problems did may cause?
I'm not sure because sinkholes happen suddenly and we cannot predict it. So it can cause accident, especially yes, accident, and it makes the traffic there stop for a long time so that people can fix the road. But totally, it's very dangerous.
Again now. Sinkhole.
Sinkhole.
I will say hole and hole.
Hole.
Mm. Thunderstorm. Do you have the same feeling or different feeling compared at the time when you were little until now? Are you afraid of a thunderstorm when you hear the sound or see the lights?
Oh yes. When I was younger, I used to be scared of the thunderstorm because it creates loud sound. But when I grow
Mm,
up, I still scared of it because it not because of the light or the sound, it because I
mm,
think that I did so many bad things and the thunderstorm could hit me and I will die.
mm, mm.
Mhm.
Okay, you say when I was young, not younger, because now you are still young. When I said when
Okay.
I was young, it means I was little. Uh, the thunderstorm often accompanied by the heavy rain and maybe hail. Have you ever witnessed hail?
No, no, I haven't before.
Okay. I maybe three months ago I saw the Facebook and the one on Facebook post a short picture or short video or maybe a picture on Facebook. Take a picture of the hail in the one place of Dallas, and I'm really curious that it's really do you know it's a rock or another kind of water?
Yes, it's like iced water.
Mm. uh, mm. Ah, small balls, ice. When I was little, I also hear people mention the hell, but I because we translate into Vietnamese that mưa đá, I think whether or not the rock and stones from the sky can fall on the people, and what if they hit the people head? So
Oh,
actually, it's not okay. But do you think if this really happened, the people traveling on the road may get injured because of the hail?
oh, yes, I think so. Because totally it's rocks and it's like rocks falling from the sky. You cannot know where they will hit you. So
Mm,
it's very dangerous.
okay. Flat. Is it easy to um, is it the ease flat easy coast in the city in the maybe in the Bình Thạnh district,
Yes,
right? Mm,
it usually had flood here in Bình district, and sometimes it just make the traffic worse, and people just stuck there. So I usually don't go out when it's raining.
So maybe just a normal flooded road. How about the serious damage in the area, the flooded area in a maybe bigger scale like this one? So
Oh,
tell me some of the damages that the flood can cause during the heavy rain weather.
oh, yes. So when it had flood, the it's like it will damage the houses
flood,
and
flood,
people
Okay.
uh, like people get drowned and their house get um, get flood away. Huh? Get that.
Lots of ways it swept away the house or
No, yes, yes, away their house and
this
people get
cause loss of
lost. What?
cause loss of
Cause loss of. people and houses, and it's also make the area it's like they cannot plant food or the cars cannot run. So it's like
mm,
the flood isolated the area.
mm, mm. So cause loss of human life and properties, including the house, the crops, and everything uh, in the house.
Yes.
The next one, forest fire. So which causes forest fire? Do you know?
Yes, I think that when the temperature get too high and the
Mm,
air is so dry and hot, and then it
mm,
just burn the air, and then we'll have
mm,
forest fire.
So it's completely the natural disaster, or it also somehow caused by the human.
Yes, they are sometimes causes caused by the human because maybe people just accidentally drop some cigarette onto the ground and it
Mm.
burns.
Another possibility is that people cut down, no, uh, they burn down tree to get wood, make the charcoal, make the charcoal, or let me remember this one, deforestation.
Oh,
No, no, that's not this one. I mean they đốt củi, burn down tree. Can we take this one? Burn down trees. Set trees on fire results in their destruction. So burn down trees. Some people
no.
try to burn down trees and carelessly they burn the whole forest. Somehow about the damage that it caused.
Yes, the fire will destroy everything on its roads,
Mm,
and it may be some forest, and the animals will lost their habitats, will
mm,
lost their living environments,
mm.
and also we the human have to do a lot to to cut down cut down the fire,
Put
to
down
shut
the
down.
fire.
Not sure. To stop the
Put
fire.
put put out. Let's me check. Put out the fire. But I think it's really hard. It's really hard. And it's also, of course, the air pollution because during the forest fire, it's release an immense amount of emissions, carbon emissions.
Oh,
Uh, the last one, tornado. For the vocabulary list today, tornado. Uh, where, which country have you ever seen in the video?
yes. Is America.
America. Do you think it can sweep away everything that it go by?
Yes, if it's big enough, like to some tornado that's a kind of small, they will stop when there's something bigger than them. Stop them.
Uh, it's, so when it just formed, it's a little and then gradually become bigger. Can it swallow the house? Do you think?
Yes, I think it could blow out a house or even can make a building erupt. I think so.
Mm, mm, okay. Erupt, building erupt.
Erupt hả? Phải không ta? Erupt.
Um, let me check. Breathe through. Ừ. You mean bốc lên cái tòa nhà đó luôn hả?
Không, kiểu nó sụp đổ á, cái từ gì á qua hỏi.
À, collapse.
Đúng rồi, đúng rồi, đúng rồi, đúng rồi.
A building collapse. Okay. Không phải từ nhiều nha. Mình làm bài 3 nhé. Mình làm 3 cái này không sao nhiều tiếp không sao. Ba. More than one answer may possible, tức là nó dùng giấy hợp lý là được gọi lên check ha. Tại vì có khi using the words from the table. Và tiếp theo là describe a place in your country that is famous for its natural beauty. So which place in your country would you want to mention in up to? Which place?
Yeah, I think is chắc là Đà Lạt City.
Đà Lạt, okay, because you have more vocabularies. If they ask you to describe a place of natural beauty that you have visited, it's also just remember to change the the the, the tense of the verb. Okay. Now prepare some vocabularies that you need. Maybe you ask GPT for the model sample talk, and then note down some words that you may use for the next time. And when we come to the lesson, I ask you to use the word you already noted, and then describe the place and for different tasks. So this one just for the simple present, and here change it to the past experience. Okay. Let's not do exercise 3 and prepare some words for exercise 7. Now we end the lesson now and see you next time. Thank you.
Bye bye, bye bye.